Do you live a flat or a house? In. My dog stepped a bee. On. I will be home tonight. At. Hey, my name's Chris and welcome back to Instant English. Do you often have problems with prepositions, especially these three? Well, do not worry, because in this video I'm going to explain how to use them in the simplest way possible so you never mix them up again. Also, stay around until the end of the video because there will be another preposition test for you to practice what you've learned in this video. Let's start with in. Now, the best way to think about the preposition in is within something or inside the edges of something. Here are some simple examples. The milk is in the fridge. Did you put the keys in the box? My phone is in my pocket. Also, we use in to talk about places that are surrounded by boundaries. I am in my room. There are 4 walls and a roof. These are boundaries. The dog is in the garden. So you have walls or fences around this that create a boundary, and within that is my garden, for example. We also use in for countries, cities, and neighborhoods. For example, I live in Spain. I hope to meet people in Barcelona. Right now, I'm staying in El Raval. Those R's are quite hard to say in Spanish. Also, if you live in Barcelona and you fancy grabbing an Estrella or 2, let me know. In and transport, wow, this is an interesting one. So we say in a car, in a taxi, in a lorry, or in a truck. Now, the main thing is that in these forms of transport, you cannot stand up and walk around. So we use in. Now, what do we use for planes and trains? Well, we'll get onto that a little bit later. Hold your horses. Something that you might have issue with is arrive in or arrive at. Which one is it? Well, when you want to express that you're coming to a town, city, or country, we use arrive in. For example, we will arrive in England at 5 p.m. Once you arrive in Paris, you will see the Eiffel Tower. In virtually any other situation, you should use arrive at. For example, when I arrived at the party, all my friends were already drunk. We also use in for articles, books, or newspapers, such as I read an interesting article in The Guardian. Now let's talk about on in relation to place. We use on to talk about surfaces. For example, on the table, on the ceiling, on the floor. We also use on to talk about floors of a building. For example, my office is on the 2nd floor. We use on to talk about avenues, streets, or roads. For example, on Abbey Road, on Oxford Street, which is a very famous street in London, and on 5th Avenue. We use on for forms of media. For example, you are learning English on the internet. There's a good film on TV tonight. And we also use on for forms of public transport. For example, on the bus, on the train, on the aeroplane. So these are different from in because on these forms of transport, you can stand up and move around. Well, at least a little bit, depends on the airline that you choose to take. Sometimes they can be quite small. But yeah, usually you can stand up and walk around. So in this case, we use on. Okay, so let's move on to the last one for place, at. We use at for addresses. For example, I live at 10 Downing Street. If I were Prime Minister of the UK, I would live at this address. We use at for specific locations or points. For example, I am at the bus stop. He is at work. I studied at university. I am sitting at my desk. Remember, don't say I'm sitting on my desk because this literally means that you're on top of the desk, sitting on top of it and looking down. Quite dangerous and a bit weird, to be honest. So when you're sitting next to surfaces like tables or desks, use at. We use at for group activities like, were you at Ben's party? I saw Avatar at the cinema. All right, so those are all the rules for in, at, and on for place. Now it's time for, a preposition test. Are you ready? Let's go. Meet me, the bus stop. At, she arrived London yesterday. In, the apple is the table. On, I just got the train. On. All right, so that's everything for this video. But if you want to keep practicing your English, check out one of these videos. Don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll see you next time.